Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, Keith Thurman responded to the performance of Devin Haney this past weekend against Regis Prograis. He was on the Boxing Voice and had some interesting comments. Now, Keith said that he was uninspired, Jay, not impressed by the performance of Devin Haney, said that the performance was boring. Actually, let us know that Keith Thurman was actually invited out to the fight. So, we know that Bill Haney had Keith Thurman's name in his mouth in terms of a potential opponent moving up to 147 pounds. And I guess they wanted to invite him out there to maybe drum up some interest in regards to that particular fight if it were to occur. Thurman decided not to go to the fight. And he just felt like what essentially I had been saying for a while, Jay, which was that, Regis was tailor-made for him. And I'm not knocking anything that the Haneys have done. I think the Haneys are being very smart in the way that they're moving, and they're trying to be strategic, and they're picking the right opponents at this moment to yield the most money as well as the highest profile name, if you will. So he's basically building his resume, and I don't have a problem with that, but I recognize what it is. And so Thurman said that there were a lot of different options out there for Devin Haney. Conceded that he was a good boxer, but I don't know, man. His energy was kind of strange on it, right? Because it was like, yeah, he's a boring fighter. He's a good boxer. He does well in that, but I really don't have any interest in fighting him. So it's like, okay, hold up. If you're saying he's a really good boxer and he's this, that, and the third, but then why do you have this negative energy? And then when pressed on it a little bit, you said, oh, now, if he want it, he can get it. If he really want it, he can get it. But basically saying that maybe they're just talking, and I don't know. It's just the energy around it. And I can't remember the guy's name on the Boxing Voice, but I think he sensed the energy around that too. It's just like, it's confusing what you're saying. Do you want to fight the guy or do you not want to fight the guy? The guy's saying he's willing to move up, but then you're calling him boring. But that's a money fight for you. You can make a pretty decent amount of money out that fight, Key. But you're saying that he's a boring fighter and you don't really want to fight him. And so it makes you wonder, is that stylistic matchup something that Thurman really doesn't want at this stage of his career either? Now, I don't think Devin Haney can hurt Keith Thurman. As a matter of fact, I think Keith Thurman can more than likely hurt him. For sure, because we haven't seen Devin get cracked by anybody at that weight class yet. Although, putting on more weight, not being as dehydrated, that will help him to take a shot better, I personally feel. So, Jay, what's your thoughts on it? Like, you got the opportunity to hear what Keith Thurman had to say. I thought it was, I don't know, man, it was strange. 1 minute he's trashing him, the next minute he's saying, if he really wants it, he can get it. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, Keith, I don't know what's going on with Keith, man. I know he been on the shelf for a little minute, so I don't know if he's just trying to strum up some stuff. Like you said, 1 minute he's putting him down, 1 minute he say he'll take the fight. It can't be both, because if you talk putting him down, why the hell you want to fight him? Why you want to fight him? Yeah, they had your name in their mouth, so you address that. Just give the performance what it was. Devin put on a beautiful boxing display. Show some power in that fight against Regis. Now I disagree with you about if Devin can hurt Keith. If Devin puts in the body work like he did against Loma on Keith, he can hurt Keith. We know Keith has been always susceptible to the body all the time. Not saying that he would beat Keith, but I think he can't hurt Keith. Especially Keith been out for a long time and whatnot. But I don't know where Keith is going with this, man. He even talked about Spence and other people, almost like, like he's the one that everyone's ducking and stuff, but obviously not. They called you out for a reason. They asked you to come to the fight for a reason. So don't completely just trash them, just say the fight was boring. The fight, it was one-sided, yes, but it was interesting to see how Devin dissected Regis.
I didn't think it was boring.
You got to see levels. I didn't think it was boring either. It wasn't back and forth. It was one-sided, but it was just Devin showed levels to it. Not saying that Regis is, the best fighter of all time, but he was something that we thought that could do more than what he did in that, at least touch more than 36 punches in the whole fight, but that's a testament to Devin as well. We knew Regis couldn't cut the ring off, but Devin did a great job. He avoided punches while landing a lot of punches. But Keith is just talking right now. Keith doesn't have I don't think he knows where he's going himself right now. So I think he's agitated. I don't even know. I mean, it's hard for me with Keith because he's a hell of a talent. He just been bit by the injury bug early in his career. Then now he just been on the sideline. Like he hasn't really been training like he should. He even admitted that had pretty much like fat camps for himself. So he's a hell of a commentator. Was a great fighter, but now I'm just like, Keith, dude, this is a chance for you. If this kid wants to move up to 147, yeah, I mean, I think you should be the favorite in this. You'd be able to crack him, take him out, and then go on to the next person if it's not Stanionis. So, but Keith saying the way he talked about that fight there is, damn, Keith, you didn't have to eat through the whole fight like that. Talking about it was bad. Like, it wasn't a bad fight. There's a few weeks before that, there was a bad fight, that was on another network that wasn't pay-per-view at 135 for a vacant title. But yeah, keep tripping.
Yeah, I just didn't like the energy around the response. You know what I mean? Like, why not take the fight? I mean, Keith, to me, it's been clear to me personally that Keith has been looking for large paydays. And you got a guy that's moving up from 135 pounds. That should be a pretty decent payday for Keith Thurman, fighting someone like Devin Haney, who should be less risk than a Stanionis. You would make more money against Devin 100%. Haney than you would against Stanionis. So the energy just felt weird to me, almost like more like, hey, maybe you're being so negative in regards to Devin Haney because maybe he presents some level of challenge to you that you are not necessarily interested in. And at the end, when maybe you realize that you sound like you're dismissive because maybe you don't want the heat or the smoke, then you change it up that if he really wants it, anybody can, or if he really wants it, he can get it. He talked a little bit about the potential, I guess, of fighting Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis got a belt now. So a lot of people want the opportunity to try to fight and make a name off Keith Thurman. It's like, dog, yeah, man, you're a guy that has a name and you're sticking around. I don't know why you're bringing Boot's name up. I don't think that's something that you want. And this is no knock to Keith Thurman, because I think Keith Thurman could be competitive in a fight against Jaron Ennis. And I don't think Devin can beat Keith Thurman. I think that just because Thurman's power. Now, they may think that Devin may have a chance against Keith Thurman just because of what Barrios was able to do. But Barrios, has a different style. Now, I think maybe he and Devin are the same height. But, man, there's a reason why Bill Haney and Devin Haney called out Keith Thurman, man. They're very strategic in what they're doing, Jay. There's a reason. They see something that they think they can capitalize on, probably the fight with Barrios, thinking, hey, if Devin can stay away from his power, which they believe he can, and the fact that he really didn't hurt Barrios. So maybe if Devin can stay away from the power, maybe Devin may have a chance against Keith Thurman. I've already said that I believe that depending on what fighter becomes available at 147, specifically one with a title, I think we could see Devin Haney move up. If he doesn't move up, he'll probably stay there and fight either Sandor Martin, which is going to be his mandatory, or get the opportunity to bypass that to go directly to Ryan Garcia if Garcia is willing to make that fight, because that's another big fight that will make a lot of money. So we'll see what ends up happening with both Keith Thurman and Devin Haney. I wouldn't mind seeing the fight just to see how Devin fares at 147 pounds against somebody like Keith Thurman. But you guys let us know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast at M Sports Media, and we are out.